welcome everyone into our first episode of Dialogue Tree. My name is Daniel Padilla, and I am joined by my wonderful friend Matthew Peterson.
Hello.
Welcome to our first episode. We're very, very excited to do this. We've been looking into starting this project for a couple of weeks now, and we're actually getting it started now. I'm excited.
It's good to be here.
I hope you have fun.
I'd just like to say that I hope everyone has a great time here. And if Nick Kirshner is listening, we miss you, man.
Goddamn, Nick Kirshner. I don't think there's a person on earth that I miss more than I miss Nick Kirshner.
You know, it's important to throw it out there.
Yeah, of course. Maybe someone will listen to this.
And he'll be like, oh, I know Nick.
I know Nick, exactly. And they'll get him to listen to it, and he'll listen to it, and he'll know. He'll know how we feel about him.
So what are we going to talk about?
We don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about your tax returns.
Which were never done.
Oh, you didn't do it?
Ever. I never fucking did it.
Well, even if you fraudulently file, you still have to file.
I don't think I ever fucking filed, dog.
Oh, really?
Is that bad?
I mean, it's just weird no one noticed. Right?
Well, what do you mean no one noticed? Like what? What would I expect? I don't know, dude. I never fucking filed my tax. I was in the States for like 6.5 years, and I never filed for any taxes, man.
Oh, in the U.S., I don't think you have to in the U.S.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
That's not what I meant.
I don't think we're required to do that here. Like, it's not the same process at all. Like, you're taxed when you buy shit.
Oh, okay.
But like, you're not required to file like tax forms and shit like that here at all.
Interesting. How do they calculate it then?
I think it's all just based on like all the fees that they charge you. For example, like when I don't know, like I think that's it. I mean, they
everything is taxed in a store.
Exactly, and you get like when you get your paycheck, you get your deductions in your paycheck, and like that's kind of
okay.
it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
This is an okay system,
I suppose. I mean, at least you don't have to like stress over the fact that you have to like fill out forms and shit like that. You know.
Yeah.
I bet. Sucks. That's why I never did it.
Well, I don't really have an option.
Especially now that you're working.
Yeah, now the IRS will notice.
The IRS, dog. Was it you who sent me a video of the Joker being scared of the IRS? Like a
yeah, like a GIF.
Yeah, like a clip from the animated series of the Joker saying some shit like he was scared of the IRS. Right. He would mess with literally anything else except the IRS.
It reminded me of you, but I guess you don't have an IRS.
No, we don't have an IRS here. We do have like a substitute. It's called the Lazar. Everyone here is just complaining about the Lazar all the fucking time. Like, I have to go do some bullshit at Lazar, and it sucks. It takes so much time, and they're trying to fuck me over and whatever.
Oh, it's like the DMV.
But it's mostly like people who have like their own businesses. You know what I mean? Like, for example, my dad who collects money from renting a piece of land to a pharmacy, he has to go to Lazar to do whatever bullshit he has to do there. I don't even know. I don't even know what exactly he does. And then my other buddy, he had a
just go in and they come out.
Yeah, I have no idea. And then my other buddy,
it could be androids.
It could be androids. My other buddy, he had a business involving, excuse me, selling like water tanks because we had like a pretty awful drought this year. Mm-hmm. So he was selling like water tanks to people, and so he had to go do a lot of bullshit at Lazar, and like I never understood what he did or what he needed to do, what he needed to report, or what the issue was. But he just kept telling me that it was awful, that it took so long, that people there were super shitty. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah, just like the DMV.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Daniel, do you hear that?
Hot take alert.
It's the hot take alarm. Give me one right now.
Hot take alarm? Oh, shit. My hot take. Okay, I think my hot take of the week, we had this conversation earlier. Mm-hmm. My hot take of the week is I don't think Super Castlevania 4 is all that great. Like, I understand if you grew up with it, you might have like some nostalgic sort of value towards it. However, I didn't play it. I only played it for the first time back in 2018 when I purchased my Super Nintendo Classic. And I don't know, man, I just didn't quite like it. I felt it was really, really slow paced. I feel like the graphics are weird. There's always like this weird sort of like greenish brown color palette to it, which kind of looks kind of barfy. I've always thought so. Yeah, I've always thought it's kind
now that you say it, I do remember that. Maybe it's only the first few levels, but
I know
I don't know.
It's just kind of barfy. All like that, like the green brown color palette. It just seems kind of barfy to me.
Yeah.
It's slow. I feel like it's not even that challenging. I feel it's kind of easy with the considering that you can like whip your you can use your whip in multiple directions. I feel like it just takes a lot of the challenge from it. And yeah, generally, I see so many reviews and people commenting like on YouTube and on Twitter and everywhere that people love this game and they used to think it was revolutionary. Maybe at the time it was, but honestly, I've gotten to play a little bit and I've never felt engaged to like finishing it or play longer because I just don't find it. I don't know. I find it kind of boring. I find it kind of slow, and I just want to play Contra 3 instead.
Well, you can say that about any game, but I know what you're saying.
We could say that about any game, yeah. I wish I was playing Contra 3 instead.
You can say that about any activity, actually.
You can say that about any. I wish I was playing Contra 3 instead of recording this, absolutely.
That would be like a weird gimmick, like you play Contra 3 while recording a podcast.
While we're recording? That could be an actual hot gimmick, except all of our episodes would have to last about like 20 minutes because that's just about as long as it takes me to beat that game.
I mean, I will slow you down in multiplayer, and we can do hard mode.
You're right. Yeah, that'd be cool. We can try that. Maybe we can try that for a subsequent episode. Matthew, do you have a hot take to share with me and anyone who might be listening?
I mean, I have some pretty hot ones, but I'll try to think of one that's actually about video game related hot takes.
Okay. I mean, I think we're open to any kind of hot take.
All right, here's a hot take. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is not a good show. It's really boring.
Oh shit! Have you actually seen it?
I watched it with famous man Norton, our good friend.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay.
Because it's like so memed, and I was like, everyone's really into this, so it must be like, it's
awesome or whatever.
One of the best things, and I just thought it was really boring, and we couldn't get like through multiple seasons of it. I don't know. It just didn't.
How much of it did you actually see?
I mean, probably like 25 episodes. I don't know.
No way. Yeah, that's
they're short. They're not that long, but
no, of course, but still, like that 25 episodes. I don't know. It's a pretty
long enough
decent amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's long enough for you to like make an opinion whether you want to continue watching it or not. I think
Yeah, and it's definitely not the worst thing I've ever seen, but
right, it's just not engaging enough for you to like keep watching.
It's just kind of like average.
Yeah. Interesting, because I mean, I have no idea what it's about or when it came out. I literally have no idea what this show is about. All I know is that it seems quite popular on my social media.
That's exactly how I was going into it.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the big personalities that I follow on social media are crazy about it and stuff. And like some of the dudes that I follow even have it like tattooed, like JoJo themed tattoos and everything. And so I just always imagined it was like a huge thing. I've never quite been into anime. I've seen like the classic ones like Dragon Ball and Knights of the Zodiac and like the classic ones here in Latin America, right? Dragon Ball was big here.
Knights of the Zodiac is, man.
Knights of the Zodiac is good. It's huge here in Latin America, and we also got Captain Tsubasa, which here in Latin America is just called Super Campeones, which would translate to Super Champions. It's the
Super Champion.
It's the Japanese. I mean, well, of course it's Japanese, but it's about a Japanese kid trying to make it in the soccer world. You start watching him. Playing soccer in high school, and then he moves on. He becomes pro. And so that was huge here, and that was good. But besides those three, I don't think I've ever seen any other anime as much as I've seen those three. But I still had the idea that JoJo was supposed to be like this, I don't know, a huge thing. And I mean, I
Yeah,
guess it is huge, but I mean, I've never been
oh,
interested in
it's
actually
popular.
checking it out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay, so
mean,
we have
anime always is like has weird tropes that you just can't avoid,
right.
but
Of course.
some is still better than others.
What's the best anime that you've seen, would you say?
Uh, so it's kind of a toss up, but I will say Full Metal Alchemist,
Okay. I've
Brotherhood.
heard great things about that.
Yeah, it's wonderful. But I actually like the show Hunter x Hunter better, but it's not
I've heard great things
finished.
about that shit too. Yeah. It's not
Yeah.
finished, so like it's still being produced.
Yeah, so well, the guy is
Okay, cool.
he has an illness, so the manga is like on hold. So
Oh shit, that's
I
awful.
mean, maybe it'll never finish, but what
Is
is
it
there
like fucking like
is
a
really
terminal
good.
illness?
It's not like cancer.
Okay.
He's just I'm not really sure of the details, but I know it's been on hold
I
for a
wouldn't even
while.
be sure that I could call an anime like the best anime that I've ever seen because to me it's just like any other show, you know. I've only seen a few of those, but I remember enjoying a lot of Dragon Ball. Knights of the Zodiac is pretty cool. I feel like the theme of the show is excellent. You know, these kids who have armors based on astrology. So, and
Okay,
I don't know,
that's like
it
it's like a thing in JoJo's too, actually.
really astrology.
Uh, kind of. Their like powers aren't based on astrology, but they all have like
Right.
a sign.
Yeah, so Knights of the Zodiac is all about like Greek mythology and astrology and stuff like that. So it is pretty interesting. It is kind of old, and there's a lot of like weird sort of flashing animations, which you know how I feel about that. I feel like I get really
Oh
anxious about
yeah, like
like
that
flashing and
that episode of Pokemon that got banned.
yeah. While watch, I tried revisiting it a couple of years ago, and I would often have to like look away from the screen because there was a lot of like a flashing and like I'm sure it's fine, you know, like a lot of
Mhm.
my friends have seen it, and I know that I saw it like a long time ago, but I don't know, I've developed a weird sort of like anxiety towards that, so like now I don't like to look at it, and so I would find myself often looking away from the screen, but.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers go out to Yoshihiro Togashi, who also worked on Yu Yu Hakusho. I didn't
Yo,
know
Yu Yu
that.
Hakusho was hot. I remember
Yeah,
seeing
it's
some
cool.
of that, and that was pretty hot. That was pretty good.
The thing you actually wanted to talk about was video games that feel like comfort food.
Yeah, video games that feel like comfort food, and video game like specific video games that like have helped you out like through difficult times.
I think those are different things.
I think those are different things, but do you think we can tackle both like on the same
Yeah,
during the same
kind of like the same
conversation?
wavelength. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Is there any particular video game that you want to get us started with? I'm curious.
Well,
I actually have no idea.
I think anything, I mean, I think our comfort food is going to be different because anything
Yeah,
that is like comforting to me is something that like I know where all the items are and I know what
of
all the
course,
enemies are going to do.
of
Like
course.
like Dark Souls 1 is
No
comforting to
shit.
me. Which is
Really?
funny,
Damn,
but
dude.
I've played it so
Because
much
that's supposed to be one of
I
like
know where all the
like,
items are.
and it's also supposed to be one of like the most difficult fucking games, right?
Yeah, no, it's still hard. I still die, but I never am like lost.
Right, right. When was the first time you played it?
God, I can check my Steam purchase. I honestly can't remember. I've probably beaten it like 7 times now.
7 times, yeah. How long does it take you? Just about like 10, 15 hours, or is it longer than that?
It depends how late, like completionist I'm feeling, because
Okay,
you
yeah.
can. Dark Souls is really broken. There's a starting item that just unlocks like all of the late game areas without having to fight any bosses. Just because I don't know, it's
Yeah.
insane. And so you can get through the game really fast without glitches even. But I
Right,
usually
right,
try to
okay.
go for most of the bosses at least.
Yeah. Which would take you just about how long would you say?
Um, Probably like 12 to 14 hours.
Okay, that's decent,
I
yeah.
like to get a good set of skills, fashion souls to get a nice looking character. Save
Right.
Solaire, who is the Praise the Sun guy,
Right.
because he dies if you don't save him.
Of course. What is it about this game that you like specifically? If you want to talk about that.
I think it's just really well made. Like everything, for the most part, is a fair challenge.
Okay.
And it's things are just telegraphed really well when you're fighting a boss. Like
Right.
the overworld is okay. Sometimes you're just getting like pestered by enemies like ranged from really far away or whatever, and it's annoying.
Right.
But
Right. Right. Right.
the boss fights are just so cool. And of course, I never play Dark Souls 1 twice in a row. I'll play Dark Souls 2 or
Yeah.
Dark Souls 3 or whatever. I would play Bloodborne, but I
Right.
don't have a
Right.
PS4. And they kind of all combine into like one Dark Souls experience, I would say.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess I'm talking about Dark Souls, the series, more than just
The series as opposed to just the
first
first game. Yeah.
yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. I think the most the most comfort food type game for me would have to be definitely from the Super Nintendo era. I'm torn whether it's definitely between Contra 3 and Super Punch Out.
Hmm.
I do have I like to think that I do have more of a nostalgic feeling towards Contra 3 because I remember consciously it being my favorite game back when I was like fucking what have you, 6 or 7 years old. You know, I remember thinking about how
Yeah.
much I liked this game
It's
and how
an
much I
optimal
like.
game for a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah,
Like so
exactly,
Rambo.
exactly. It's cool, right? And they had like I used to suck at it when I was little, right? Because it's such a hard game. I used to suck at it so bad, but
Yeah.
it's Contra 3 is the type of game that like I do not remember when I got good at it. You know what I mean? Like I don't remember. I literally have no memory of like any of the strategies that I have for that game today. I have no
Hmm.
idea when I discovered them or how I discovered
You
them or
just like
how I discovered
internalized
them.
them like a really long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. And this was like long before YouTube was a thing, you know, and like long before you would like log into YouTube to look at people playing this game so you could like
Yeah.
figure out how to play it most efficiently and whatever. Like it's just I don't know. I guess I just sort of figured it out when I was little, or a lot. I mean, at least younger than I was today. I know I played it a lot, you know, because I eventually got rid of my Super Nintendo growing up. But uh, whenever emulation became popular, I would always make an effort to play it. And so at some point, I must have gotten better at it and like figured out all the boss patterns and everything. Um, and I do just love that game, and I think it's exhilarating. I think it's exciting. I think it's fun. I
Mhm.
think the music is excellent. And it's cool to it's cool because it's like an arcade game that you can beat within like 25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's
It
cool
has
when
the
you know
definitive
like
ending.
it has a definitive ending. And it's cool when you know like everything that's coming at you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I
what
feel
I
like
was
super
saying.
about yeah, exactly. I feel like super proud of myself when I see like a little item, you know, a little item floaty thing that comes on the screen and I know exactly what item that is, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
so I can already like think about my strategy. I can already think about what I want to do. Um, and this is cool because it feels like such a like an 80s. It has such like an 80s action movie vibe to it, and I feel
Yeah.
like that's so entertaining, man. The music, all the sound effects, and all those little sound clips. I feel like they're so iconic. There are radio stations here in Honduras who would play you know, the little sound clip that plays when you beat a level.
No shit,
They'll,
really on the radio?
yeah, yeah. They'll play it on the radio for random fucking reasons that I can't even understand, but you'll still
Like
hear
as a
that
sound
sample.
effect or as like a transition or what?
Like a sample. I don't know, like when a dude calls
Okay.
over to like request a song on radio, they'll just like play that or what. I have no idea, man, but I am sure that I've heard it. Um,
That's wild.
and I get excited when I hear it. Like, oh, that's from Contra 3. I love that game. You know what I mean? It's cool
Yeah.
that they're using that sample because these dudes must also know this game and whatever, everything that it means. But on the other hand, there is Super Punch Out, which is weird, right? Because I feel like everyone is usually a lot more familiar with the original Punch Out as opposed to Super Punch Out.
Hmm.
But as I was growing up, I grew up with the Super Nintendo, so for the longest time, I used to always think Super Punch Out was the only Punch Out there was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had no idea that there was a Punch Out for the
Okay, I guess
original
that makes
Nintendo.
sense because all of the titles were literally just named Super for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if
I
they
had no
weren't a
idea.
sequel.
Even if they weren't a sequel, exactly. So, and I don't know, it's different, right? It's definitely, I don't know, it's a different kind of game. It's still arcadey, but it's different. I do think it's charming.
Yeah.
All the characters have so much personality to them. Animation and art style, I think, is pretty cool. It looks nice. It looks clean. And yeah, I don't know. I think I once again, it's just cool when you like realize that you know all the dudes that you fight. It's cool when you know all their patterns and you know what's
Mhm.
coming up. And once again, it's a game that I can pretty much beat within like 20 minutes. And it's fun, right? Like I
Yeah.
always, and it's been a thing for a long time for me, right? It's been a thing that like when I was just like bored out of my mind and I had no idea what to do, and I felt like I didn't want to do literally
Yeah.
anything, I would just like pop it up on an emulator and I would just beat it. I don't know if I've told you this, but when I was a grad student, of course you know that I was doing grad
Yeah.
school in business administration, which I have absolutely no interest in, and I did it because it was free or whatever, and I felt like it was just like the natural thing to do.
Mhm.
But I didn't really care for it at all. So I would go into my classes with my laptop, and when I was taking fucking I don't know like finance classes that I actually did not care about at all, the professor would be talking for hours. All my classes were 3 hours long, and they were in the evenings. And I just would not care. So it would just be with my laptop playing Super Punch Out, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would like summarize my grad year, my grad student year. I would summarize by saying it was just me, sitting at my classes, not really paying any attention at all, and just playing Super Punch Out on my computer instead of paying attention.
And it shows. I mean, you picked it up like at second try. You placed on the world leaderboard, which is
I placed on the world
crazy.
leaderboard. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
What were
It's
you like
cool to know
19th
that
or
I'm
something?
there.
Like that's 19th best in the world. That's pretty good.
Well, when I did it, I was 18th. I think at the moment I've been relegated a little bit behind. I think currently I'm like at 20 or 21 or something. I think there's a
Yeah.
couple of people who have
But
beat
I'm
my
just
score.
saying,
However,
those people like those people grind the game to like practice it, but you just like walked into the house and you're like, all right, let's do it. Let's get the world record.
yeah, exactly. And like we were talking a bunch of shit when we were recording it. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
even all that focused because I was trying to have a conversation with you guys for the recording to be like sort of entertaining beyond me just playing the game. So I wasn't
Mhm.
even like 100% focused on the game. I feel like if I was just recording
In
myself
the
with like
zone.
absolutely, yeah, if I was like absolutely in the zone and I wasn't talking to anyone or having, if I didn't have to think about anything else besides playing the game, I feel like I could have even done a lot better than I did then.
Yeah. And it kind of is like speed running, right? Like being good at a game you like in a very natural way feels just cool. Like you're the man, that you know
Yeah,
where everything is, right? And that's
exactly.
basically what speed running is, but in a more casual way.
Except I feel like speedrunning. I've seen a couple of speedruns for Contra 3, and I feel like that's a little bit different because the speedruns that I've seen. I don't know if these are dudes that actually hold any kind of records or anything, but the speedruns that I've
Mhm.
seen of Contra 3, these dudes have even figured out what the most efficient places to die are. Like in yeah, like in an effort to like cut time or to make use of the invincibility frames that you have as soon as you revive and stuff like that. And I feel like it's cool that you know the game to the point that you even know when it's most efficient to die to like beat it at the best time.
Mhm.
But I feel like dying just goes so against everything that I've always felt while playing Contra. You know what I mean? Like I've always grown up playing Contra feeling that like dying is what you want to avoid. You know what I mean? That you just want to go and you don't want to die. You want to avoid dying at all costs, so you can keep all of your weapons, you can keep all of your guns, you can keep all of your bombs and everything. You know what I mean? So that I feel like.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's a no death category
Oh, you're right. You're right. You may be right.
in the
There's different
leaderboard.
categories.
But no, I do kind of see what you're saying. Like speedrunning is more like the game is an objective than like a game is more deconstructive.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would never. I don't know. When I'm playing Contra, I feel like my objective is to die the least amount of times, to just make it through and just like pummel through, soldier on. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, and avoid death as much as I can.
But you are proud of your ability to just sit down and beat your Contra 3. You know what I mean? Like that you can
Absolutely,
just do
man.
that offhand.
Especially when I can do it while I'm like drunk out of my mind as well.
And it is impressive.
Yeah. Nah, it's a good time. It's a good time, and I feel like
It's
it's
kind of like it's like playing an instrument, right? You just practice and then you get used to it, and then you can just do it without thinking about it.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And I have developed. I feel like it's a cool tradition of mine to just beat Contra 3 every Thursday. I try to beat Contra 3 every Thursday. Um, because
Which is
of
awesome.
yeah, when I was still in Worcester and we would go to the bar and we would like
Oh, we would,
have
yeah. You would always play Contra 3.
yeah, exactly, after having a lot to drink, and I would be like a little buzzed. Sometimes I'd
Yeah,
be drunk out of my
sometimes I would
mind.
be like, I can't beat Contra 3 right now, but I've never heard you say those words.
No, never, dude. I would always like at least attempt it, and I would always get pretty far. I think I would always, if anything, if I failed to beat it and one continue, it'd be because damn, that last stage is fucking
That
brutal,
last
man.
stage is pretty brutal.
The last stage is fucking brutal. Enemies coming from literally all directions, man. Enemies coming from
Yeah.
all directions. Hazards coming from all directions. It's just brutal. But beyond that, I feel like I would always do pretty well. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's like a fun tradition that I always try to like keep up with. Beat Contra 3. It literally takes me like 25 to 30 minutes every Thursday, regardless of what state I'm in. Regardless if I have drank or not. I still like to play it on Thursdays.
And that's great.
Yeah.
That is comfort food.
What else, man? Do you have any other game that you would call comfort food?
Yeah, if we're talking about like a retro game, I would say Zombies Ate My Neighbors on SNES.
Oh
Classic game.
shit!
No one's
Have you
no
played
one's
through
ever
all of
heard
it?
of it. Yes.
How many levels even are in that game?
I believe it's in the 80s.
Damn. Okay, that's a lot. Yeah.
I only beat it when I was a kid, but it was like my only game when I was a kid. I had that and Zelda, and I would just play it because I had that game and I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
And you memorize where all the secret rooms are, all the power ups. You
Right.
memorize the
Right.
codes. You gotta like write them down on paper manually.
Yeah.
But I don't play it nearly as often as you play Contra 3, but it is something I can always start it up and be
Right.
like, at least for like the first half of the game, I like know where everything is and what all the secrets are. I know what all
Right.
the items do. And it's just like it's a weird game, it's so offbeat.
I feel like that the game is like the definition of 90s. Like literally everything about it, the art
Yeah,
style.
everyone has sunglasses. The kid looks like Bart Simpson. He's wearing 3D
He's
glasses. And
wearing
he shoots
3D glasses. He's wearing 3D glasses as a fucking fashion statement, dog. Like, what is that about? You know what I mean? It's excellent. I love that.
Yeah.
I
And you
love
can
that.
you only have to save one person to not fail the level, so you can just kill everyone
Yeah.
besides one.
Yeah, it's excellent. I feel like the art style reminds me a lot. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but like that's sort of like late 90s Burger King kids meal sort of art style, because they used to have all these characters, right? They used to have this character who was like the superhero or whatever, and there'd be like this bunch of kids who would always be around him. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I couldn't even like
I mean, I like know what you're talking about, but I have no mental image.
you have no mental image. I have a clear mental
Yeah.
image. I couldn't tell you like what year this was or how many years it lasted or what the characters' names were, but like I have a very, very clear, distinct mental image of this, and it just reminds me so much of Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Yeah, I remember playing that with you briefly on my Super
It's
Nintendo
a
Classic.
blast, honestly.
No, it's cool. Yeah, it's fun. I always like sort of like
It's just
the top-down style games. I feel like there's something cool about them. The fact that you can see everything going on, and level design is just so specific for those kinds of games.
I just think it's like a really unique game. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something about it. There's not much else like it on the SNES that's like a top-down exploration
game. I don't know
Yeah.
what else you call it.
Yeah.
Because the enemies are infinite. You
Right.
just got to save the people and leave.
Action exploration
Also,
game.
I looked up the image there. It does look like it. They look like the Captain Planet kids. There's
They
the
looked at the
dog.
Captain Planet because that's exactly what I was thinking
Yeah.
about even as I was talking about it just now. Yeah, absolutely. I remember playing Zombies Ate My Neighbors with you as recently as last year, and I remember you telling me you're gonna like this level, and I was like, oh, I wonder why. And then we were fighting this giant baby who I think was like a weird kind
Oh
of
yeah,
boss.
that's a funny level. You
Yeah,
gotta
it's
kill a giant
excellent.
baby.
And you were absolutely right. I feel like that was like absolutely hilarious, and I fucking loved that. And
Yeah,
it made me wanna actually like play the game even like a lot more and like
yeah. And there's a lot of like secret levels you'd never see unless you like know where to see like find a special potion to break through a wall, like things like that.
excellent.
There's a secret level in the first level, and you need a random drop so entirely to get it. I
No
think it's
shit.
completely random. It might, yeah, I think it is random,
Yeah.
but it doesn't actually help because the random level just sends you to level 2 when you finish it. It's
Right,
just
right,
for
right, right.
fun.
Okay. Yeah. Just knowing that it's there and being able to find it and everything, I'm sure it's satisfying and gratifying.
I
And
don't know if
everything.
you know what Day of the Tentacle is.
No, I have no idea.
It's a really old point and click like like Monkey Island stuff.
Oh, okay.
So the same people made that game, and so the entire
No
level is
shit.
just one enemy, and it's all the guy from Day of the Tentacle, and it's just a
Oh,
million of
damn.
him.
Yeah. Interesting. Cool. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I think if I had to come up with like another sort of comfort food type game for me, it would have to be a couple of games of the Mega Man series. I like Mega Man 2, which is a
Mm.
weird choice because there's a lot of like design flaws in that game, and I 100% understand
Yeah.
it.
Oh my God, it is.
Once you go into the fucking Wily stages, it all just kind of falls apart, especially.
Yeah, yeah. That is the part I don't like. The Robot Masters section is pretty fun.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was gonna say, right? The Robot Master section is cool. Like yeah, all the stages, I feel like are cool. I know we talk about this game a lot, and I know our friend Cam, always says that Quickman stage he doesn't like it, and he feels like it's bullshit. But
Mhm.
actually, that might actually be my favorite stage in the entire game. I feel like, excuse me, I feel
That's
like
the one where the lasers come from the wall, like.
yeah, those weird laser beams, exactly. Yeah, that's the stage. Um,
I like the idea, but you gotta sprint as soon as you enter the room to avoid them, which is like that's kind of new player unfriendly, right? That you just die if you go into this room because there's no way you predict it.
yeah, it's super unfriendly, and there's no way you can know. Yeah, and like it's just coming at you, and it's just gonna fucking own you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But that's exactly it. I feel like I've been playing that game for so fucking long. I couldn't even tell you how long I've been playing that game. That I think if I were to play that level right here, right now, I feel like I would be able to, maybe not necessarily beat the stage in one life, but at least go through all those like weird laser sections in one go without dying by the lasers. And it's something cool about that, I get a weird sense of like pride knowing that I've memorized those patterns and I can do it. And I feel like that's like if someone was watching me play that shit, they'd be like, "Wow, this kid knows." You know what I mean? This kid knows Mega Man.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Exactly.
It's like
So I think
when
it's
when you watching like a fighting game and like you're watching Melee and the fox gets a grab and they know exactly what percent up throw up air kills or
right.
whatever,
It's
like
exactly.
they just know where to be.
And it's impressive to see someone like have that amount of skill, right? So I feel like I get that weird sense of like pride too when I'm playing Mega Man 2 because I feel like I pretty much know where everything is and I pretty much know all the Robot Master's weaknesses and everything. That is just it's cool. But not only like I feel like the level design is incredible and the music, man. The music in Mega Man 2 is just fucking legendary, man. The soundtrack to this
Yeah.
game is awesome. Even the first Wily.
So you like the which version do you like actually
What do you mean?
of Mega Man 2?
How many versions are there?
There's 2, right?
I don't know. What do you mean? Are you talking about like the Genesis version and the Nintendo version?
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I've never really played a lot of the Genesis version. I know Cam had that weird copy of it, but I don't know. I mean, I played it maybe like one time. That one time that they were having that party. That one time that I went there and to just play Mega Man while literally everyone else was in the other room partying and drinking and everything, and I was just playing Mega
Yeah,
Man.
that was wild. You were like locked in on Mega Man while a party was happening like around you.
I know that was interesting. That was a good fucking time, man. That was a good fucking.
Yeah,
I'll
because
always remember
Cam and I
that.
kept coming back into the room like because we just wanted to hang out with you instead of go to the party.
Yeah, and I was just there playing fucking Mega Man 2.
Played Mega Man, and people would come in and be like, "What is this going on?"
Yeah, that was good. That was a good time. I don't know. I mean, I grew up.
The internet consensus basically is that the Genesis one looks better, but
It definitely
worse.
does. It definitely does. But I feel like it's weird, right? Because I grew up playing Mega Man 2 on the. I grew up playing the Nintendo version, and so I'm used to like the 8-bit soundtrack and everything. Although I do think the Genesis version sounds good. Like it sounds excellent, and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty clean. I guess I'm just more familiar with the way everything looks and sounds on the Nintendo version. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd rather play a game with better controls that looks worse anyways.
Yeah, exactly. However, I am curious about the Genesis version. I am so curious about the Genesis version that like I would consider buying the Genesis, the mini Genesis.
The mini.
Yeah, just so that I can like have a legal copy of that
It
game.
must be on it.
It is.
It must be on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It absolutely is.
Okay.
And I want to have like a legal copy of that game, like on a hardware that is like produced in house and everything. You know what I mean? So, like I would honestly be super willing to pay for a Genesis Mini just for the Wily Wars that's included with it.
Oh, it's the whole Wily Wars thing.
Yeah,
That's
the Wily
nice.
Wars, the entire thing is in it, which I've never actually like played. You know what I mean? I've only played through most of Mega Man 2, but like I've never actually seen any of the extra stages or anything, which I've heard are pretty cool.
Yeah, like
Yeah. I've never seen any of that, so I'd be super curious. But yeah, Mega Man 2 is definitely, everything up to that Wily stage with the weird bomb boss, the boss that you had to take out with the Crash Bombs item.
Crash Bomber. Oh, that boss is so bizarre. It's just like it just sits there, and then if you run out of
You're
Crash
done,
Bomber,
right? Because
it's
because then
game
you'll
over.
die
Yeah.
and
what a horrible
it's terrible design because you die and then you like appear right in the room before it, but there's no way for you to like refill on Crash Bomb.
There's no way to get C. Yeah,
Exactly.
To get
So
the C back.
it's
So you're
awful,
just
right?
dead.
And like I'm sure, I don't know, maybe I could memorize the pattern just like I did with Quickman stage, but once again, to get to that stage, it takes a lot of time, right? To get through all the Robot Master stages in Mega Man, it takes you what like about an hour, like 45 minutes to an hour or something.
Mhm. Yeah, and
Yeah, so it's just hard. So I would never like get there as often as I, you know what I mean? So it's a difficult stage for you to like memorize and stuff like that. So I would never. But yeah, I don't know. Everything up to that stage I think is excellent, and everything up to that stage I like to play at least like once every month or once every 2 months.
So spoilers for Mega Man 2 Final Boss, I guess. Isn't it an alien? And you have to fight him
that's
with
the one.
bubble.
That's the one. You have to fight him with the fucking bubble because everything else just fucking heals him, man.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyways, that's enough about Mega Man 2.
Yeah. So Mega Man 2, but even Mega Man X, man. Mega Man X is absolutely fucking comfort food for me.
That's a fun game.
Pretty much for the same reasons, man. I think the music is insane. I feel like the level design is absolutely perfect. I don't know. I love it. I love everything. I love everything that did all the new stuff that they did with it. I love all the like the collectibles and how every stage
Hadouken.
the Hadouken, yeah. I love how every stage interacts with, like, for example, like if you beat a certain stage before you beat another one, when you go to the other stage.
Oh yeah, like the lava.
Yeah, like when you beat Chill Penguin and then you go into the whatever the lava guy's name is, I forget, and you go into his stage and everything's like frozen over.
He's like a flame mammoth.
Flame mammoth, exactly. That's right. And so his stage will be frozen over, and I think that's just so cool. It just shows a little bit of polish. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's so much detail.
Yeah, it kind of incentivizes like a repeat playthrough in different order. And it's more than just boss weaknesses. It's like there's something to the actual stage.
Exactly, for you to figure out what stage influences beating another stage afterwards and stuff like that. I think it's really, really cool. And it's interesting too because it's like a little bit like actually like grittier and like a little bit darker than classic Mega Man. You know, there's actually like a story to it. Yeah, and I feel like the stakes are a lot higher because of all the character interactions and all the dialogue and everything.
Yeah, I mean it's more than nothing, which was basically the
Yeah.
situation in Mega Man
Yeah,
2.
when you're thrown into Mega Man 2, you're just like, okay, I'm Mega Man and I have to fight the robot masters and
Gotta do what Mega Man
exactly,
does.
yeah, but like I don't know, there's just a little bit more of like world building around Mega Man X. Um
Oh, definitely.
and yeah, and like the controls are cool. Everything that they added to it, as I was saying, that the dash I feel like is a little bit more engaging than the slide in Mega Man that was introduced in Mega Man 3. Wall jumping, it just adds so much variety to the gameplay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And even like finding all the secrets and all the stages too. You know what I mean? It adds that like exploration aspect to it, which is is kind of pretty much inexistent in classic Mega Man.
Yeah, there's you're not gonna go back, even if there's like an E tank you can get in Mega Man 2. If you go back, you're not gonna go get the E tank. It's just like,
Of
do I get
course.
the E tank or not?
And it's going to be like visible. You know what I mean? As soon as you enter like another room or another section, it's
Yeah,
not a
it's not a
secret. It's
secret.
there.
It's like, do you
Exactly.
have the
It's just
item? Do you have the
right. If you have the special, the weird special items for you to be able to actually get it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mega Man X. But beyond that, is for me Mega Man X. So I grew up playing Mega Man 2, right? And I never really played Mega Man X. I tried to play Mega Man X a couple of times in emulation when I was younger, but it seemed so much different, and it felt for some reason to me it felt so much like heavier than classic Mega Man that I could never really like get into. But when I bought my Super Nintendo Classic, Mega Man X was actually the game that I was most excited to play because I remember my older brother, which I don't know if I've ever talked a lot about my older brother, like while I've been around you, but he's like kind of like the biggest influence.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Well, he's kind of like the biggest influence in my life, and like we get along well, like super well. We just have a really good relationship, and like I look up to him a lot, and so he would always tell me that Mega Man X was one of his like favorite games as a child. You know what I mean? He would love it and like and everything. So like when I was playing that, I could just imagine my brother, my older brother, who is now like a fucking doctor and he's married and everything, and I could imagine him being whatever 8, 9 years old playing that shit and feeling like an actual fucking superhero. You know, like feeling like he was Mega Man and all the stakes and everything. Feeling like he was saving the world, you know, and playing through all the stages with the fantastic music and all the power ups and everything. You know what I mean? Like I was able to play it through those lens when I bought the Super Nintendo Classic, and so I don't know, I absolutely fell in love with it, man. And once again, just along with Mega Man 2 is one of those games that I try to beat once every month or every 2 months, or a game that I'll just pop in whenever I'm having like a weird day. You know what I mean? It's one of those games that'll just get me through weird days and shit like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you have any other game that you want to talk about?
Well, this is not actually a topic, but shout out to anyone who covers Creep and does not actually censor it, because that ruins the song.
That's awful. Version. Yeah, that's awful.
Terrible.
You're right. And
yeah. That was just a little complaint. We can cross it off.
You're so list. Very special. Like, so, fuck that shit.
Yeah, what? It doesn't even fit the meter. Anyways, Bloodstained. Crazy game. I beat it. I was playing at my friend's house. I beat it 3 times. I got all the endings and stuff. It's
no shit.
I
love
it.
This the first time that you were beating it?
Yeah, and we were like playing it alternating, just because after like on a third time, you know what's happening. Yeah. You know where all the stuff is. But
right.
I thought it was super good.
This is the Curse of the Moon you're talking about,
yeah,
right?
I'm not talking about Ritual of the Night. Sorry. Yeah, I'm talking about the new one.
Yeah,
but
you mean the earlier one?
No, I'm talking about the
Curse of the Moon was actually released a couple of months before Ritual of the Night was released.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm talking about the unofficial Castlevania.
Right. Of course.
Which you've played it, right? Have you finished it?
I don't know that I finished it, but I played through most of it. Like I think I stopped like right at the last stage or whatever. I was able to play with all the characters and everything.
Oh, I mean, you get them all by the 4th level.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's 8 or 9.
Right. Oh shit. Okay, maybe I didn't play as long as I thought I had. I think I
Well,
stayed
there
at
is
like
like a
the.
the first map. Once you get to the final level, it just goes to another map. So you might have thought you were
Oh
at the
shit.
end. I don't
Okay.
know.
No, I feel like the last stage that I played was the sand sort of the sandy looking level.
Okay, that's pretty early.
It's pretty early. Okay, yeah. Then I guess I didn't quite play it as much as I thought I
You're
had.
like halfway through.
Right, right, right.
I don't know. It's so interesting that it's just like a blatant. It just copies everything. It just copies things from different Castlevania
Yeah.
games. Like you walk into a room and you're like, I know the layout of this room. Here's the Medusa heads. Here's the knight. Like I've played this before, but I still like that I'm playing it, which is weird.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Of course, of course. No, it's definitely engaging, and honestly, I hadn't quite played any Castlevanias before I started playing Curse of the Moon Beyond. I never played any. I've never actually played any classic Vania. I've only played the Game Boy Advance sort of Metroidvania type games. So
Hmm.
for me, it was cool, right? Because it like I always knew that it and felt that it looked pretty much exactly like the classic Vania games, but having not played any of them, to me it was like a cool introduction to it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I thought the music was cool. I thought the bosses were cool. I thought level
Yeah,
design
the
was
music
was
was
pretty. Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, right,
Yeah, I do like how there's different paths and
right.
stuff.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, there's definitely branching paths. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I remember having a good time with it, man. Absolutely, 100%.
I guess the reason I was thinking about it is that I'm not sure if it's better than Castlevania. Like it's different enough to not quite be a
Right.
Castlevania game,
You're not sure if it's
but
better.
it's so derivative.
What do you mean derivative?
Like not by fault of the developers because people want it to be
Right.
like this, but I mean you have characters who are literally like you have Alucard who is just his name is not Alucard, but he's Alucard in the
Yeah.
game, right? And you have literally like you have stage layouts that are as a reference the same layout as like another room in another game.
Right. 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 Right.
I do like it, and there's a lot of original content, but
Right.
I'm not sure if it can ever be better than the original, because it is just like an homage, a fan tribute.
Right. Right. Is there anything in particular that you would say you like better than classic Castlevanias? Anything at all?
I like by default that you don't get knocked back when the enemy hits you. I think that we've come far enough as a society that it doesn't need to happen.
Well, that's actually interesting because I think that's the setting, man. I don't think that's the default setting of the game.
It's normal mode. So I played on normal mode the first time through, and it doesn't do that. And there's a veteran mode
Okay.
um,
So normal doesn't
that
have
does do that.
knockback?
I
No
think
way.
that's the setting. I think that's the setting from normal mode.
Okay, interesting. Because I don't remember a lot, right? Because I played it very, very briefly, as I was telling you.
Mhm.
But I do remember that in my playthrough, I did get knocked back. I don't know if I set it specifically to have knockback because I wanted it to feel like the classic Castlevania.
Yeah,
But yeah, I remember having knockback when I was playing it. However, I feel like level design is a lot more forgiving. Like even if you do have knockback, I feel like
it's
the
very much easy. Like there's checkpoints everywhere.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even I mean, if you're playing a veteran, you have way limited lives, but still there's checkpoints everywhere.
There's checkpoints everywhere, and there's less even like bottomless pits. I feel like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
at
there
the
are.
the stairs are even like a little less tricky. They're
Hmm.
less tricky.
The bosses have less. They deal less damage. The
It,
bosses have more fair attacks, you
right,
could say.
right, 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 right. So even though I did play with knockback, whatever setting that I chose when I started it still felt. I don't know. I've always had. Once again, I've never really played a lot of classic Castlevania, but I've always had the idea that it's like fucking brutal and like playing through Curse of
Hmm.
the Moon. Like it felt challenging, like challenging. It felt more challenging than Super Castlevania 4, that's for sure, which kept me engaged to want to like keep going. But it didn't.
Yeah,
It didn't. It never felt like frustrating, or never felt like holy shit, this is fucking hard. You know what I mean? It felt like, oh, this is fun, and I want to like keep through it until I beat it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I didn't realize you hadn't finished it because I said I was talking about a Mega Man reference in it, and I just assumed you knew what I was talking about.
No, I think
But
I'm
you haven't
unsure.
finished the game, so you don't. Well, I don't want to spoil it because it's absolutely hilarious.
No way. Okay, now I'm curious.
But
Yeah. When I get my new
something
computer, I'm
really
like,
interesting.
is that you can kill the allies. I didn't know this because I had to look up how to get all the endings because we couldn't figure it out. It turns out you can just stab the party members and absorb their powers, and
no shit.
You can just play as the default guy, but he gets like a double jump. He gets all these moves
No
from
way.
killing his allies.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that.
And it changes the story. I had no idea. I never thought to try.
No, that's wild, man. Yeah, that's super cool. That's super interesting. How do you even go about doing that? I don't, because like, don't you
just maybe walk up to them instead of hitting talk.
When you're like rescuing them at the end of the stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit! I never even thought of that. I never even thought of like the possibility of you being able. Excuse me.
Exactly.
You being able to like damage them or anything. Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it for a moment because I did think it was really well done.
Yeah, of course.
It's interesting that we've kind of come full circle, right? That games now, we just are making games that are like advancing the lineages of dead franchises, basically. Like Classic Vania is, it's nails in the coffin on that.
Right.
People are still making it, and like Sonic went off a cliff, but people made Sonic Mania, right? That game's pretty good.
I've never played it, but people say it's good, and because I've never, dude.
I haven't either. I just don't want to be associated with Sonic.
Dude, honestly, once again, when I was younger and I started like dabbling in emulation, I tried playing through like the original 3 Sonics, and I was just never, ever engaged with it, man. Like nothing about it. I like the music is cool. I don't think when I was younger it would catch my attention as much as it would now. Whenever I listen to Green Hill Zone, it's immediately stuck in my head for like ages. I don't think it would have the same effect when I was a lot younger, but once again, like the original Sonics, I tried playing them, and I know I played through like a fair amount of them, and I was just never engaged. But a lot of people that I follow, like on social media and YouTube and everything, they say it's actually really good.
Kind of a contentious thing is like, was Sonic ever good? Is like a question people ask.
Exactly. Was it actually ever good, or is it just like nostalgia and whatever? I don't know. Right.
Spencer hates it.
Spencer hates it.
Cam loves it.
Exactly. So there you go.
I just haven't played it enough to be
right.
I'm just kind of, but I will say it is currently awful. I know that much.
I don't know that I would say that I hate it, but I'm definitely not interested in playing like any other minute of it. You know what I mean? But I have heard that Sonic Mania is actually pretty good, and like level design is actually pretty good. So I'm curious, I guess. I still don't know that I would like go out of my way to play it instead of playing anything else that catches my attention.
Yeah.
But at least the curiosity is there. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like people say that this game is actually really good. So maybe eventually, maybe one day.
Here's a hot tip you're not going to get from many people. Sonic 06, very fun campaign. Every once in a while, my friend and I will play it just because, it just breaks. Like, you just go anywhere and it stops working. It's hilarious. Like, there's so many. Like, if you stand on a box and you just mash X, you'll just ascend forever into the skybox.
No way, dude.
Like, you can just leave any level.
Yeah, that's excellent.
And I mean, I could go on forever, but it's just a fun time for how broken it is.
Yeah, because you get to like experiment to like how the world reacts to literally anything that you do because of how broken it is.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's a good time. Yeah,
it's just such an unfinished game.
Right.
But now it's not even like that anymore.
Like they like patched it up or something.
It's kind of sad now. No, I don't mean. I mean the new Sonic game, Sonic 06.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
I just mean the new games aren't even like funny bad. They're just like scam bad.
Yeah. Damn. No,
The sad thing is actually the werewolf one. What is it?
Unleashed.
Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah.
The daytime stages are like kind of fun. They're not bad, but then you have to play the worst 3D brawler of all time to get to the next level, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Also, the intro cutscene to that game is beautiful. It's like looks like a movie. It looks like Avatar. It's amazing. I have no idea how they did it.
Are you fucking kidding
me?
And then
you get in the real game. No, look it up right now if you want to, but it just looks so good, especially for the time.
No way.
And then you get in the game, and it's just like the quality plummets from the textures and compared to the pre-rendered cutscene in space.
It just plummets.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the trailer and they wanted it to just look insane so
Right.
people
So
would
people,
buy it.
people would be interested
I'm
in
not
buying
sure.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, I had no idea that it looked so good until my friend showed me
Right.
it. And I was like, wow, if this was like if this kept going for another hour, I'd watch it because it just looks great.
Fucking Sonic, man. Yeah, I don't want to be associated with Sonic either.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like
I hate that he's in
I've
Smash.
always, literally always.
Oh
He's
my
always.
God.
I'm like I know they started adding characters who are not necessarily from like the Nintendo reign of video games, but like no
Mhm.
one, to me, at least to me personally, no other character feels as much out of place in the Smash roster as Sonic does, man. There's just something
Oh my
that
God,
just
yeah.
feels fucking off about Sonic being there to me that I
Yeah.
can't even explain it, but I hate it. And whenever I have to play against him, whether my friends are playing as Sonic or when I'm just playing against the CPUs and I hit random and Sonic just pops up, I just hate it. I hate seeing him there. God damn.
It's funny that you mentioned it. You never met Theo, right?
I remember him, yeah. I mean, I never interacted with him a lot,
so
but
you
I
didn't meet
remember
him.
him, yeah.
But he like felt that way, but with such a burning passion that he would like he like basically had to leave his old living situation because his roommate played Sonic in Smash 4.
Wait, are you serious?
So I mean, there were other factors because he was kind of a weird guy, but that was what he cited as the only factor.
No way, dude! I don't believe it.
And if you picked Sonic, he would scream. He'd be livid. He would just turn the console off.
No shit! I love that.
Yeah,
I love
God.
that, and I stand behind that behavior 100%. I encourage that shit.
Yeah, I get it. I'm on the same wavelength.
Yeah. I fucking love that. No one feels as out of place in Smash as I don't know. Snake, it feels natural. Fucking Pac-Man feels natural.
I like Snake. Yeah,
You know,
Pac-Man looks bad, but whatever.
and I feel like he's kind of
I'll take
boring.
it. He's not.
I feel like he's kind of boring, but like I don't know. He just doesn't seem as out of place to me as Sonic does, man. It's just fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
They added random crits to Smash, but I will take all of that. Just get Sonic out of there.
Yeah. Seriously, man. Seriously, are you gonna go see the movie when it comes out?
Oh, I don't know if I want to pay for it, but I'll watch
We'll watch it, right? At least, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh, you know what? This I saw a trailer for this movie with Edward Norton. He's like a cop on the edge in like a noir detective film in New York. I forget what it's called.
Is this a recent movie? Like an
And I'm
upcoming movie?
well, I was like, oh, that seems interesting. I haven't heard of this, and it's like coming out tomorrow.
No shit.
I've never heard of this. And then I just saw like on Reddit, it was like because they upvote the movies statistics every week, and it bombed so hard, and it just no one went to see it. And I think it's because no one has heard of this movie with Edward Norton. I don't even remember what it was called, but I had no idea it was coming out till like the day it was coming out.
Well, hey, dog, it's already doing better than that fucking Fred Durst directed movie starring John Travolta. Man.
Don't talk to me about the Fred Durst.
No, I just wanted to talk about it because I have a weird thing for Fred Durst and everything he does, so I wanted to bring it up.
Oh, I know.
But
we should watch it.
We should. I haven't, but we should, and we should talk about it on this show. That'd be pretty good, actually. That'd be pretty hot.
Oh, I would love to do an episode of Fred Durst movie recap.
Yeah. But you're right. It is weird that a fucking Edward Norton movie is not being like marketed so that people actually go to see it.
Right, because he's like a big name. He's like a important actor.
Yeah, and even
when Birdman came out, it was like
hype. Right. And even movies that are not necessarily.
And that movie was awesome.
Even movies that are not necessarily like. I don't know if you've ever seen Pride and Glory or have you ever heard about it.
No, I don't know what that is.
It's
actually.
Edward Norton and Colin Farrell, and they're.
What are they
They're
doing?
like cops in New York. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's New York. I could be wrong, but I think it's New York. I don't remember. But of course, it's like
you gotta look at the poster and
then Edward Norton is of course like the cop that is like trying to do everything straight and trying to avoid trouble and everything.
Oh yeah, I have seen this. I saw this poster, this preview before.
It's good, man. It's a good like cop / family drama movie. I love that movie, and Edward Norton is so good in it, and I'm such a big fan of
I love him.
right, he's so good, and I'm a big fan of Colin Farrell as well, and I mean, it may be a little bit like derivative, you know, I don't think it does anything new with the cop drama genre, but like, it's a good watch, man. Like everything that happened, I feel like the story is interesting, it's engaging, you want to know what's going on, you want to, because Colin Farrell is like the dirty cop, but they're like related because Colin Farrell, I think, is like married to like his sister or some bullshit like that. So like that dynamic is just interesting. You know what I mean? Like how they're gonna figure everything out, like in terms of like their family, and not only their family, but also like the police department and everything. It's good, man. It's a good fucking movie. And I would, whenever it's on cable, I like to watch it, and I would literally recommend it to everyone. And I know that's not one of like the biggest, more like the sort of more artistic Edward Norton type movies, but like he's really good in it, and the movie itself I feel like is really, really solid, and it's a fun watch.
Okay, cool. I'll have to look into it, but I need to be like shot in the street because I still haven't watched the damn Spider-Man movie that everyone loves.
Which one?
The animated.
You haven't seen that shit?
Not
Matthew. What the fuck, dog? I will swear for that movie. Literally at any, you know what I mean, without even anyone asking me to. I swear by that movie.
Maybe I'll just watch it tomorrow night.
It's
like, it is
fucking good, dude. It's fucking good. It's so good. Characters are so good. It has a lot of like emotional moments, and everything just makes so much sense. I love that. The art style is crazy, man. It's beautifully animated. I love that movie. I think it's actually I actually might say it's the best movie that I've seen in all of 2019. Honest to God.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
It's excellent. It's excellent. It's a fantastic movie. I'll swear by it. The performances are excellent. I think it's cool that they're working with not focusing on Peter Parker, but actually focusing on like the Miles Morales universe. I feel like that's super, super interesting. So much detail went into that movie. I fucking love it, man. I will absolutely recommend that shit to everyone and everyone. It's pretty good.
Well, next episode, update on that.
Update on that. Excellent. Matthew, closing statements.
Well, we've talked about a lot of disparate things here. It's hard to wrap it up in one word. Why don't you give yours first?
No, it's a good time. I'm glad we actually finally got to do this. I had a good time. I feel like we'll be becoming a lot better as we go. Should we decide to do another episode, which I'm sure we will. I am a little bit.
Well, if I watch the movie, we're doing another episode because I have to talk about the movie. If
Absolutely. So we have that going on. I am a little bit buzzed right now.
Honestly, I couldn't tell that much.
You couldn't tell? Okay, good. Yeah, I was gonna say that I'm not sure if that was for the better, for the worse, if it was just neutral, but. I had a good time. Sharing, personal experiences with things that I care about a lot.
Yeah, it was fun. To just,
exactly. So I hope this
natural flowing conversation.
Yeah, which I think is I think what we were going for. You know what I mean? For it to sound like natural.
And shoot the shit for a while.
And so like everyone who like actually knows us, they can just like, I don't know, listen to whatever we're talking about and find it fun, find it like a good listen. So yeah, no, it was a good time, and I'm glad we're doing this. And I hope anyone who's listening to this shit find it just as entertaining as it was for us to make it.
Of course. Yeah, I had a great time doing this.
Excellent. All right, so I guess we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah.
This has been
everyone.
This has been what is this?
Yeah, oh my God, you forgot again.
I forgot again, dog.
We're cutting it there. All right. Bye.